Hello, everyone, and welcome to another recap video. Week 3 was pretty broken. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of things
Again,
happened in week 3. It's broken. Like last week, week 2 was crazy, but week 3 is truly broken. But hey, if you like the content, if you like the streams, make sure to like this video. And also, we always love a great donation. Donate to support the channel. That super chat is right there. So if you like the content, make sure to donate to this channel. We're gonna hop right into this. Mauricio, you say it's over. You're a Dallas fan. I'm gonna tell you.
yeah,
Here's the thing about Texas football. I'm gonna tell you one thing about Texas football. We are like we have the same problem in a way. I know like we compete against each other, we hate each other, this and that, but we got the same problem, and it's the most mediocre thing in the world because we're gonna debate who lost least, like who lost better. You know what I'm saying? We it's the most mediocre debate. I'll tell you, I had a worse loss than y'all had. Right? I will tell you, I had a worse loss. Y'all loss looked like it was about to be as bad as our loss, and then y'all started doing a little comeback. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Is that now that comeback was that a legitimate comeback or was that like what was that to
yeah.
you?
The comeback was, I mean, it was real. If you if we even got one of those 2 point conversions that we didn't get, that's a 1 point game, right? So it's and if we get both, we're up by one. So it I mean, the comeback was there. I'm glad it didn't happen though because the the amount of I mean, obviously, like our team, there's a very obvious weakness. The key to beat the Cowboys is run the ball. The Ravens ran the ball like 40 times. They ran it down our throats. It's like 6 yards a carry, I think, or maybe even more. And it was just like, I mean, that's the blueprint. That's what's happened in back-to-back weeks. New Orleans did it. It probably could have happened if Nick Chubb was healthy in week one. Maybe it would have happened, and it would have been back to back to back wins from the other team of just running it down our throats. So it's a very clear weakness, and obviously every team in our schedule now is that's the game plan. I mean, what else can you do against the Cowboys? Just all you have to do is just run it, and it's apparent. Our ex-coach, the Clapper, Jason Garrett, he was on TV and he's like, "That's the blueprint. You saw it live, back-to-back weeks. Just run it down the Cowboys' throats, and they're not tough enough. They're a weak team in the run game, and they're just not mentally tough enough. They're not physically tough enough, and they're not mentally tough enough to get over that and overcome that." Now, I think it was a great display from Dak yesterday. Um, to with CD Lamb dropping the ball, fumbling the ball in the red zone, which obviously in what ended up being a one-score game, that red zone fumble it's huge, right? I mean, if you don't fumble there, you get the field goal, and now it's a tied game. But who knows what could have happened? I think he always does well in those types of situations where you have to run the ball or drive the ball down in quick succession. And I think that it showed that's his greatest skill is running a 2 minute drill and just being the leader of the team. He did a great job not doing mistakes, and he had one fumble that just kind of like fell from his hand for like randomly, looking like Jalen Hurts. But
Who is
no
John laughing?
interceptions.
Is
What's
he
that?
laughing at you? Who is John laughing at? I don't know. Like,
Hey,
is John? John, are you a Cowboy fan still?
I don't think he is. But I'm in the end, I'm glad
Yeah.
that the uh, the comeback didn't happen. Just because if we would have won, then we're like, see, we like our guys, or we're good enough to win. But it's just like the reality is like, no,
Okay.
we have very very clear weaknesses, and Jerry Jones still refuses to admit that. He was interviewed and he said the same thing again. We like our guys, and it's just like at that point, like, come on, that's just
Let me tell
bullshit.
you. I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you. What you just said is me. Now I want you to understand something. This is the thing about Texas football. Everybody here, you listen. Let's lock in. If you watch my last video, and I lock into this, you and me, we're not gonna win the Super Bowl this year. I'm gonna just tell you that right now, and I'm gonna be straight up with you. We're not winning the Super Bowl. The Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. I don't care what happens until they show it to me. Like next week, you facing the Giants next week. Y'all gonna beat or in a couple of days. You're gonna beat the Giants. I face the Jaguars.
Hope so.
But we not, because this is the same exact thing that happens every freaking year. I swear on everything I love, and I am not about to run through this again. Let's talk about. I'm talking about Houston Texans, and this is a thing when you talk about your Dallas Cowboys. We face the Vikings. We get slapped. We get beat down. Fully understand that, right? People now in that video, the Vikings fans are like, "Hey, man, we're a really good team. That's why." And people say, "Man, the Vikings are a good team." I don't care. I'm looking at the camera right here, Mauricio. I swear on everything I love. I don't care who I'm playing. You do not get smacked like that if you're supposed to be a good team. I'm going to tell you that right freaking now. You don't get smacked like that. Way y'all get smacked and the way we get smacked, you ain't mentally tough. You're not tough enough. So tell me now, you face the Jaguars next week. Tell me now, are you about it or not? And if you're not, I lose my expectation. You're not beating the Chiefs. Just tell me now. Don't tell me in December when your hopes up. You're a Cowboy fan. You know this shit. Your hopes get all up and then it drops, right? You know this.
Yep.
I don't have time. I don't have time for it. I'm not doing this. You understand what I'm saying? The Minnesota Vikings, they're a good team, but the Texans are talented enough. They are a talented enough team to make the competitive. Scoring one touchdown. Are you kidding? Who am I facing? What team is this? Who are we playing? So all I know is this. The Texans, y'all play Jacksonville next week. Show me next week. You at home. Laramie Tunsil on all these false starts. We had 11 penalties. He had 6 of them. Yeah. He had 6 penalties. False start. He do that every game. Killing drives all the time. We have too much talent. So at the end of the day, bro, I'm going to tell you like this. When the podcast happened, and I know Dallas fans, you, Lewis, and John, whatever, I don't care what none of them say. I ain't going to lie to you. At the end of the day, it's all about what happens. Because I already know I'm not about to play back and forth with y'all on who's the least mediocre. I'm not going to play this game. I'm not saying that's such a foolish game. If you a contender looking down at the Texans and Cowboys, 2 drunk uncles going back and forth, it looks so foolish. We're stupid. I'm not about to do that. So you should tell me now if you about it. And if you're not about it, then I'll sit back and I'll relax and I'll make content because, hey, I can benefit from it now. See, last year when in the years past things happened, I didn't benefit from it, but now I do. Texans and Cowboys, for Mauricio's sake and for my sake, prove that you're not frauds. There's nothing that's shown that y'all are both not fraudulent teams. We're both fraudulent teams. Prove it to us in the coming weeks that you're not fraudulent. I don't care who wins against Houston versus Dallas. That game don't matter. What matters is the play. People, and I know you say this shit too. I know y'all say this too. You be looking at your division. Oh, the Eagles lost. Oh, the Eagles won. Oh, the Jags lost. Oh, I don't care about winning my division. I don't know about y'all. I don't care about it because y'all shouldn't either. You saw the Eagles go to a Super Bowl. You've seen the Giants go to a Super Bowl in your life, and you haven't. Yep. Me, I've seen teams in my division go to AFC Championship, and I win the division. I don't care about winning the division. I care about making a deep playoff run to the Super Bowl. That's what I care about. So you know what helps you? You control your own destiny. Just win. You control your own destiny. Don't look at don't make people win for you. Win. And if you don't win, I'm not playing. Like I'm telling you this year, I'm not playing that dumbass game. I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing that game, bro. I'm just so we'll see what happens when they play Jacksonville. Another couple of upsets happened. The Giants beat the Cleveland Browns. That's hilarious. I don't know why that's so hilarious to me, but Harrison, he hasn't been on the podcast in a while, but Cleveland Browns are looking
like Dookie, let's just say.
They looking rough. And Deshaun didn't play there, but he had 2 touchdowns, but Daniel Jones had 2 touchdowns. Daniel Jones had his freaking best day of the year.
Neighbors had his breakout game. He was balling out. Definitely wasn't expecting it from the Giants. I had a feeling in me that they could win, but I didn't think it was going to be in this sort of fashion that they did.
What is he saying? I'm not saying that because they be finessing people. You say this, man. These Texans choke against the injured lambs. He's
talking about the whiners.
Oh yeah, keep cooking them. Texas, nah. See, John trying to troll, but like I said, all this trolling John do, it don't matter. He gonna troll by himself. I don't care about none of that. What matters is, hey, y'all play Jacksonville next week. I don't care what none of y'all tell me. I already know what I know. You can't tell me anything I already know. I've seen fraudulent teams for years. They gotta show me something. Another team that could look like fraudulence are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got beat the Broncos, beat the brace off them boys.
Yeah, that was another surprise. Like, damn. I'm glad Chris Godwin got his touchdowns for my fantasy sake, but man, like, I mean, for the Broncos to go from what they looked like week 1 and 2 to this, you're like, what? Like, something clicked, and hey, good for them. I mean, that's helping out my hot take for the season. So hopefully they can keep that up.
But I look at all these games, Mauricio, and I say, like, the football that's been presented to us has not been good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been interesting. And the only excitement is all the upsets. But if you at the end of the day, the Kansas City Chiefs, even Patrick Mahomes not playing well. Like he's not having a good season.
Travis Kelce, nowhere to be found. He's barely getting touches. It's
Can't say thieves and fraudsters. That man smoking some.
No 3P.
That they got a referee, bro. They got their referees. That's their 12th man, bro. You can't mess with that. You looking at these games, man. I think one that it's very interesting to talk about. I'm actually gonna skip a couple because like Seahawks, Dolphins. And shout out Jungle Jams, you the 3-0 team that just exists for some reason. But shout out to you, my man, 3-0. But Panthers Raiders is a game I really want to talk about because Andy Dalton. What I know,
Young. Listen, shout out Bryce Young. You're a young man. You got into the NFL.
Good job.
Unfortunately, Andy Dalton just ruined your chances, at least in Carolina, to be a starter. Like there's just no going back now. That solidifies it 100%.
He's gonna start for the rest of the year, but I do believe, like, usually how a new quarterback comes in and there's a spark that first game, and then so we'll see. I see it and I'm like, okay, you're kind of cooked, but let me get a little more. Let me get a little more before we really say you cooked. Andy Dalton is the only quarterback this year to have 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. You understand? That tell you how bad everyone else playing. And I tell you how amazing how like everybody in Carolina's minds just changed completely. But it does look bad for Bryce Young. It looks like Bryce Young might. Like right now,
man,
and like, but at the end of the day, this does nothing for the Panthers. They're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. Like, you get an upgrade for a week, maybe 2, maybe. But like, what you gonna do in the draft? You gonna win 6 games. What you gonna do in the draft? You gonna trade up again? Like, what you gonna do? Andy Dalton did in 1 game too. Yeah, I mean, like, but I gotta see a little more Andy Dalton before I officially crown. Now that was
what more do you expect from I think 12-year vet? He went out there and did his thing. So good for him.
He's going to look better. But he does. Andy Dalton him. I mean, but I know if look, Mauricio, let me ask you this: if you're Bryce Young, are you rooting against Andy Dalton? Just human nature. Don't give me no like PC. Human nature in your heart. If you Bryce Young right now, are you rooting against Andy Dalton?
Yeah, I mean, naturally yes, because you want to vindicate yourself. You want to be like, see, the team I can't do anything with this team, and then he goes out there and does that, and you're just like, damn. Maybe it was me, and then now the self-doubt starts all over again, and man, it's got to be tough.
It do gotta be tough. I think Bryce. Yeah, he's a sit this year, and maybe like I would keep him in Carolina next year, and I'll have him have a competition with maybe an Andy Dalton, and then after that, if he loses, then yeah, maybe you got to trade him. I think the Panthers go over 500. Yeah, he's gonna root it. Hell yeah, I'd root me. I'd be rooting against him. I'd be hating on the side like, bro. I hope he throw 3 interceptions today, bro, because I want them to know it's not my fault. But now every Carolina fan, when you come out, Bryce Young, Andy Dalton, if he get injured, Bryce Young run out there. What's going to happen? A sea of boos. And when they booing you, a couple thousand people booing you, bro, I know that's tough. The man looked like he had weapons. That's hilarious. This man. See, you can't say he had no talent though. That team was talented enough. Falcons is a team too. They are a team.
Yeah,
and they did play.
That was
they are a team.
is back-to-back weeks of no or a bad PI call, whether it was they called
Oh,
it or they didn't called it.
we'll go to the Chiefs.
Is
Yeah, we'll move to the Chiefs. Chiefs Falcons. Mauricio, I put that in there. I put it in the plot. If you're here, you should join our
oh
Discord.
yeah,
Mauricio, you can share that Discord.
yeah,
Um, we have a channel where it shows like plot moments of the year, like moments where it's clear that they rigging this whole thing to make something happen. And yeah, last week or with the Bengals, they had the PI call they called, and that was a fair call. I'll say whatever. But it's just bad timing, 4th and 16. And then this week, they do PI. It's pass interference. They don't call it. It's in the end zone. It'll be at the 1 yard line. I said, boy, they don't hide that. they don't be hiding that, boy. Andrew had to call timeout and remind the Falcons of the script. He said, wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute now. That's not in the script, boy. They had a right. Wait a minute. Send that off to the freaking league. Chiefs
yeah.
cheated.
Hold up. This isn't how it's supposed to end.
It was like, wait a minute. Why are we losing? We about to lose to the Falcons. Nah. Look at all the 3-0 teams, Mauricio. It's the Chiefs, the Steelers, the Vikings, and the Seahawks. Let that sink in.
Potential for Buffalo, right? Tonight.
Yeah, Buffalo maybe, but the
Maybe.
NFL, the early returns of this season, it's the least scoring it's been in for many years. The least touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, the main character, don't look good. CJ Stroud threw 2 interceptions. Multiple good teams, so they 1-2. I'm just saying the early returns of this season shows that the Chiefs got this.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, the Chiefs are struggling, and everybody else is too. But then the Chiefs got the refs. They got that the real 12th man on the field. So
you can't stop that, bro. Hey,
crazy.
but what about the? We'll talk about a couple more games, and then we'll move on to the games that are happening, tonight. My fan until week 8 will be brutal. O-line is weak, and yesterday was playing third-string quarterback only on the team a month. Skylar Thompson, you got a lot. I know Skylar Thompson got my playing time. They had a graphic where somebody stripped his pants down, which is like, I was like, that must have been a rough game in Miami if that was all that's happening. It's gonna be
I did not see that.
No, yeah, good thing you don't. But Miami, they look like they out of it. Like a lot of teams look like Baltimore, even though they beat y'all. I mean, they almost choked, and that's literally their thing. They love to choke games. they literally the best at that. Like, that is what they do. They did it the week before you. So, like, no one's serious. Was 4th and inches, not 4th and 10 yards to the left. Interesting. Steelers would have lost if Kirk played in preseason. What does that mean? No, yeah, you think about that. What does that mean?
Oh, the week 1. He's talking about week 1. The Falcons.
Okay. Oh yeah, Kirk. Yeah, well, yeah. What do you think about the Eagles Saints game, man?
Let's read this one real quick.
Josh Allen or Josh Allen? Yeah, that's funny. And not a lot of people get that. You gotta be a football fan, get that, huh? Mitch Morse or Gabe Davis?
I think Josh Allen's got it.
We'll do our Monday Night Football picks. I just want to ask this question from Mauricio. You're a big Cowboy fan. You hate the Eagles. Eagles Saints. The Saints was leading the league in points, and then they faced the Eagles, and everything went down. Only scored 12. How you feeling, man? The Eagles look legit. Don't they look legit? They
Saquon looks legit. That's what looks legit on that team.
He played for the Eagles.
Saquon looks to be in contender for one of the non-quarterbacks to be MVP. If he can continue that production up, he's making a pretty good case for himself. I would have enjoyed to see the choke. Obviously, I can't lie there. But they ended up winning. It was a close game, and I think it speaks maybe more that the Falcons, not the Falcons, the Saints, that the Saints are they're there defensively. I think offensively they got off to obviously a really hot start. But it was just some miscues in that game. They had how many turnovers? I mean, Jalen Hurts fumbled. He had a pick or 2 picks. I don't remember.
Yeah, he had a pick. He had 1 pick.
Yeah, just 1 interception, and they didn't put up any points. I mean, you're winning the turnover differential, but then you're not even putting up points, not even field goals. Like, let's not talk about touchdowns. You're not even putting up field goals on top of when you're getting those turnovers. So that's a losing recipe.
I mean, to be honest,
But,
they're not gonna win either, though. They're not gonna win either.
I mean, yeah,
Like I
they
I know they're not gonna win.
they're there for like they're one of those teams that has their moments, but when it comes to the longevity and making that deep run, you just know it's like maybe they win the wild card, or if they and they get to the divisional, but then maybe divisional is their ceiling. If they get
Isn't that you too?
extremely lucky, yeah, it's like
Isn't that you as well though? Ain't y'all like the
yeah,
same? Feel
but
like yeah.
we look bad, just bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, y'all are the same. Like we're all on the same boat as the Panthers. What does that mean? That man, hey, I don't.
That
That man, he
that's
cooking
wild
that.
to say.
That is wild to say. I didn't think you had that less confidence. But look, at the end of the day, I look at all of this, bro. The Bills honestly look like the only team that has a shot to compete against the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, the 49ers don't look like they have a shot. Their injuries are insane, and it's looking rough for them. They wanted to. The Seahawks have they number one in that division. That's hilarious. So 49ers having a rough start to the season. The Texans, even though they won their first two games, these holes are too obvious that I just know they're not going to be about nothing really. The Cowboys, you already seen what they do every year, and it's not going to change. The Eagles, same thing. They win, but it's not really going to be about anything. So Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, they choke every game they play. They always games, right? The Dolphins, Tua hurt because he don't know how to slide. So now they completely on the Lions. They iffy. The Buccaneers just got blown out by the Broncos. I mean, I'm looking at him, Mauricio, bro. Like, what the heck do I see? I see a bunch of failure, bro. I see nobody here. We're not ready to do this. We not playoffs. Come on, with none of these teams are ready. I'm gonna tell you right now, that three-peat happening. It looked like it. Somebody got somebody
That
got
plot,
somebody
man.
got to change my mind. Somebody got to change my mind for today. Jacksonville versus Buffalo. Buffalo has a chance to be a 3-0 team and show Kansas City, hey, we got you. We could do this. They're gonna choke when they play in the playoffs. But right now they're thinking, let's see what we could do. So who you got in that game? Jacksonville or Buffalo?
I picked Buffalo. I just can't.
Hey,
Trevor
you said
Lawrence doesn't. Eagles coming out of the NFC. That's interesting. Well, I mean,
I mean,
with the
man,
liability they got under center, that's gonna be interesting. But we'll see.
that's funny. He a funny guy. I'm saying the Saints play two bad teams. Now play a real team and couldn't score a touchdown. Dang, the Eagles really a real team, huh? That could be another. He probably just going again. The thing I can't tell with John. Like at this point, he's a Cowboys fan, but he hate the Cowboys, but he love the Cowboys, and yeah, maybe he think that. Maybe he really do think that though. But so who are you picking today? Eagles or not Eagles? Buffalo or
Yeah,
Jacksonville?
yeah, I'm picking the Bills. I think the last week the Bills kind of surprised people a little bit more than we were expecting them to. So, and it's Jacksonville. I At this point I don't have that much confidence in Trevor Lawrence.
Tough.
But any given week, right? But I'm taking the Bills.
Hey, and anybody here, if you do want to support the channel, make sure
Donations.
send a super chat. That super chat's right by that chat button. So if you want to send a donation, or if you want to change the topic, you want to talk about your team, send us a super chat. We love it. And it's gonna go to the channel. It's gonna help the channel improve. Hawks play really defensive. They do. They locked up though. They locked up. I mean, it's the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill probably had I think he had no. Did Tyreek Hill have any I think he had 0 yards or something. I think he had a crazy stat.
He got me a couple points.
Oh, he had 40 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 yards.
Yeah.
That's rough though. My fantasy team cooked though because everybody injured. Buffalo. I'm picking Buffalo.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
But dang, if Jacksonville start 0-3 and then we got to play Jacksonville, we beat a dumb team. You already know. I ain't gonna say it, you already, and then I already know. True, give it till week 8. A lot of football be played still. I understand you try to push it now, but 1 week at a time. I assume is he talking about what's he talking about?
I think he said he was a Dolphins fan earlier, so I'm assuming Miami.
They do need to they got to win a couple games. The Dolphins, they got to win a couple games. All right, but next is away game against the Lions. Oh, now if you win that game, now we can talk. So if you win that game,
hey,
now we have a conversation.
Gino, he's been cooking. I've been having him on my bench, and he's been consistently cooking every week.
Yeah, but the teams he playing. Seahawks have new life under Ravens' old DC. No, but hey, see how Jungle Jams. We'll see. You're
Maybe
number one in your division. Take advantage of that. Oh, shout out to John, bro. Shout out to John.
shout out John, man.
Shout out to
Appreciate
John.
that.
If you liking the content, make sure to send donations. If you love the donations, it's right by the chat button. So if you like the content and you want to support the channel, help the channel grow, send us a donation. It goes to a good place. We have another game. I'm picking the Bills as well. So Jacksonville will be 0-3, and we got to play them. And then if we can't be an 0-3 team, then yeah, I'm forfeiting. I just at that point I got to forfeit. Like, we're not doing nothing. Next team is the Commanders versus Cincinnati. So that could be a trap game. Cincinnati is 0-2. They like to start off slow. But how you feeling about the game? And everyone in the comments in the chat also tell me who y'all think will win, Buffalo and Jacksonville, or this matchup. Like, tell me who think will win. So what about you?
I'm taking Cincinnati, but I do definitely see the potential of an upset here. I don't know if it's an upset. I don't know who's favored it, but I'm guessing Washington is the underdog here.
No,
And
sure.
I could see that. Jaden Daniels, he's been playing decently. Forget who they played last week. I don't really pay attention to Washington too much.
You don't pay attention to Washington. That's the team, boy. Let's see who they played last week. They gonna change their name back? People saying that. I don't know. That's
they played the Giants. That's right, when they beat them with only field goals.
Only field goals. Only field goals.
So I mean, hey, if they can,
what is this season? What is this season?
If they can do that production, but actually make it into the red zone and score touchdowns, then I can definitely see the upset. But I think Joe Burrow is finally getting up to speed, getting back into the groove of things, and I think they'll come out on top. I kind of don't like that it's 2 Monday night games. That's kind of weird to me.
I ain't tripping. They do that every year. I ain't tripping about it. You just pick which one you like.
I think actually one's about to start. I think one starts at 6:30.
Oh, okay. Well, now it's probably Buffalo, right? It's Buffalo game?
Yeah, the Buffalo game.
Oh man, y'all gonna leave us to go watch Buffalo? No. So with the Commanders and the Bengals, the thing I'll tell you about this, Mauricio, this season is broken, and I'm telling you, it is so confusing. Like the Commanders beat the Giants beat the Browns. Like, the little like
the math of winning and losing is very lopsided right now.
Like, no one has shown at all that they're about anything. There's maybe the Bills will show us today, but no one has shown us, yeah, I'm here. Like, this team beats that team. And the Vikings look amazing. Sam Darnold is literally the NFL MVP at this moment. He beat the brakes off me, and he beat the 49ers the week before. The Vikings, what is happening? I picked them on a ranking. I picked them to be one of the worst teams in the league, and they literally are like the most impressive team. The Steelers and their defense, the Seahawks and their schedule, I ain't gonna lie to you, and the Chiefs and they plot. These teams 3-0, and like all these, the Ravens 1-2. It's just like, bro, what's up, bro? What's happening right now,
bro? I hope it keeps up this way, because at least it keeps it interesting.
Wacko stuff, bro. We all gonna be losing and winning and losing and winning.
Because I don't know, this season's been crazy. My pick'ems have been horrible. It's just like, it makes me feel like I don't know anything about football. It's like, why am I on this podcast every week talking about football, and I'm getting all these picks completely wrong?
Yeah, like, I know one thing, Trevor in the hot seat, and who if they put because Jaden Daniels, that boy, he gonna be the next RG3. Hey, if you're watching right now, make sure to like this video. Let's get this video the likes up. We're gonna try to do this on a weekly basis, and also if you're really liking the content, send a donation. And also we do have the super thanks as well. So even if you're watching past, if this is like you're just watching the replay, you can do a super thanks. All goes to the channel. It's all very helpful for the channel. Mauricio, this season, I want you, rated 1 to 10, bro. So far, what is this season 1 to 10 from all the football you've seen, your football team, and like from week 3, what is it from 1 to
10? I'll give you my personal, like, Cowboys consideration into it first. I think so far, extremely. I was already not expecting a lot with the way last season ended. I was already like, whatever, man. Like, I'll watch football, and it's the Cowboys, but I'm not expecting much. And so
Mhm.
far, that has been pretty accurate. So I'll give it right now a solid 6 in terms of me, Cowboys. Um, it's just, it's average, barely average at best.
Sure.
Overall, for the entire NFL, um, I'll probably give it a 7.5 just out of entertainment value. I've had a lot of successful hate watches this season so far.
It's good to see.
With the 49ers losing back to back weeks, the Eagles choking last week. Unfortunately, they didn't do that this week. But um, Detroit losing, so it's been at least it's been interesting, and that's it's at the end of the day, football's there for entertainment. So I'll give it a solid 7.5 overall for now. I think last season was probably worse to start with.
You probably
Just
had your season was cool last year until it wasn't.
yeah,
Yeah,
personally.
they finessed you at the end, but they do that. For me, my season of you, we doing this personal thing. My season so far to me is a 5. I have extremely high expectations, and barely beating the Colts and playing around with the Chicago Bears and then playing the Vikings. It shows me this is Bill O'Brien's Texans. That's all I saw. I've literally watching
It's been
2019
tough.
Texans right now.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, we could beat up like Mauricio. You can. Well, yeah, we beat up on bad teams, but in your heart, you understand though. Like when we face some good teams, if we ain't competing, people like I said, them Vikings fans in the chat in the comments, oh my gosh, yeah, our team's good. So why are you so sad, bro? You not the '07 Patriots, bro. You are like you're not you're a good team, but unless the Vikings end up going 14-3 and they come out the NFC, then I don't want to hear none of that. You need to compete. And this game, what we had is either going to do two things. Either going to shows me you're mentally weak. That's number one, and you're just not have a shot. Or number two, it wakes you the F up and it says, okay, next week we face Jacksonville, we gonna blow them out. We gotta explode. We gotta lock the free. It's one of the two things. You're gonna show me next week. I'm giving it a 5. For the football, I give it a I give it a 7. I ain't give it a 7.5. Last week was a good hate watch. All the AFC South lost. Y'all got blown out too, and I just wanted to see Lewis's face with it. But I mean, but like it's a 7. It's so wonky. I don't know what to expect next week.
Yeah.
Like, but
The pick'ems for this week is going to be very interesting. At least I hope for me it's going to be an easy and a correct pick, but we'll see, I guess.
yeah, and I'll tell you this: hey, y'all play the Giants coming up, and I expect y'all to beat the Giants. I'm not even trying to be like that Lewis expectation
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, you better win. Like no, like you should win.
I
But
mean, yeah.
I mean, but the way the season been
But
going, bro, I don't know. Wait, these games happening.
at least they don't got Saquon. Now when we play the Eagles, that's going to be interesting.
It'll be very interesting because Saquon he balling. We should have signed him instead of Joe Mixon. It's fine
Yep.
though. We'll keep Joe. Joe, you get back healthy, bro. They did a hip drop tackle on you and they call it. That's so stupid.
Yep.
So
What's the
appreciate
point
it.
of banning it? They ain't even going to call it.
Any final thoughts before we let our beloved chat go? Any
Um I'm glad the Cowboys didn't complete the comeback. People can call it garbage time, but the comeback was real. But I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm happy it didn't happen.
because you want to
Um,
make sure they know.
one thing we didn't talk about is CD was he was
Oh, with that
very interesting actions on the sideline there. Um,
anime.
and that's one thing I did like that. You know, it was kind of like last season against Green Bay. It was the same thing. CD was talking back on the sidelines, and you could tell there was some tension between him and Dak.
Mm.
Um, wait, what? $500.
Where's that
Wait, was
Kroger?
this
You put support YouTube. What the heck? Why you change? Why is your name support YouTube? He gonna be here Wednesday. We do a podcast Wednesday. He gonna be
did
here
they
on
actually
Wednesday.
bet?
I don't know if they bet. I know on the last when me and Lewis Texas Turf podcast,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he was going back and forth with Lewis, and Lewis obviously lost. I think he an Eagles fan. I think the War 6 was. I think you're Eagles fan. But
He said Green Bay.
oh no,
He'll
Green
get
Bay,
back
Green
on
Bay,
it.
you got it, Green Bay, which is still good. Good job. You beat Tennessee. You beat the brakes off Tennessee. But
Levis.
yeah, come back on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We're gonna host the pod. We're gonna do the podcast, and I want you be the one on be on the chat and go at this man if you want. And he's gonna
Chirp
find
away.
any way. And he gonna find any way to fight back. Say no, he gonna fight any way, but there's no way to get out of it. There's no way. Like I said, for me, Mauricio, when we talk on Wednesday, I'm not trying to have a back and forth on who is the least mediocre. It is the saddest conversation in history. The talk should be how do we stop being mediocre? That is the talk.
What we need to do, yeah.
But my final thoughts, Texans. Hey, show me better than you can tell me. Don't go in the press conference, say we should do this, do that. Laramie Tunsil, you didn't have any accountability. I don't want to hear none of that. What I want to see is, hey, we're locked in. We're going to try to do something better, and we're going to blow out Jacksonville. And NFL, y'all are broken right now. It's entertaining, but I need some plot. I need the plot to circulate better. I need someone to compete against the Chiefs because I ain't trying to see no freaking three-peat. Second string quarterback, Cowboys can't even win with their main. Tough.
That's
Mauricio, it's hard to come back. He a Packers fan. They be beating.
No, I mean you can't. You that's just hating because you can't tell me. I'm guessing you didn't watch the game. You can't tell me that's Dak's fault that we didn't win. So,
hey,
this is funny.
we tell you on the chin. I got taken on the chin this week. You do too. We just take we two drunk uncles, bro. But for more content like this, make sure to like this video. If you liked the video, if you like our content,
donations.
That super chat button is right by the chat. It's right there. The chat. You see that money sign? That's what a super chat is. So click that super chat. $1, $2, any amount of money. We definitely appreciate it. So if you like the content, do that. And hey, check us out on Wednesday. We have the Sports Factory podcast. Will be at 7 o'clock. Also, if you like that content,
donations.
Give us a donation if you like that content. So hey, we gonna catch you guys on the next video. Y'all go watch some Monday Night Football. We'll see what happens. Can't even win a damn. That man sound
our sus defense was the main factor there in both of these games that we're talking about. So I'm not even gonna entertain that. Come back Wednesday, man. We have more time then.
Yeah, come back Wednesday, yo. Man, we gonna catch everyone here on the next video. Make sure to like it. We out of here. Peace.